fine with.
Why, did somebody say something?
Finished part 2 of the build, and we finished the wings. They're all done now. It's time to glue them together, put the carbon rod in, fit all the last few bits and pieces, fit the horizontal on the Hurricane, and then hopefully get out and fly it so we can see what this one goes like. We've seen the old pre-production one go, and now it's time to see how this one flies. So, on with the build. To start with, you need to get all your pieces together. So make sure you've got all the bits that you need, the screws, your epoxy. I'm using 15-minute epoxy. In the manual it says 30. I can get it all done in the 15 minutes, so I'm using 15-minute. A mixing tray, brush. Okay, and then we dry fit everything. So let's have a look at that. Something else we need to think of is we need to tape these up. We don't want them getting glue on them when we glue on here. Just a simple bit of tape, tape them together and stuck it onto the plastic tab there. Now when we glue this together, we're not going to have anything. Okay, let's dry fit it. Put your tube in. You don't need to push it all the way, there's a stop there. Don't try pushing it past it. Okay, take the other wing and slide them together. Okay, I'm going to fit the other bits, I'll just do that. Put the front, that, which holds the front together. Then underneath, that's going to go in there, that one's going to go in there, and that one's going to go in there. And then you've got that bit there. Okay, they all fit, we can see what it's got to do. I'm going to go mix some glue up now, and we'll stick it together. Okay, just before I glue it, because I can't actually show you while I'm gluing it because it's a job that I've got to do all at once, I'll just show you where to apply glue. Firstly, we put some on the end of our carbon tube. Then we put the carbon tube in. Don't push too hard, remember, there's a stop there. Just put it in there and you've got it. Next up, we paint epoxy onto all this surface here. All the way around, all the way around. Put a little bit in where these holes are. You can put some on here. You can put some on there, and then put some on the rest of the carbon tube. Now we're ready to slide the other wing onto it. Right? I'm going to go and glue this now and get it all together. We'll come back when it's all glued back together. Now to fitting the horizontal, your elevator. This time it's a little bit different. Your elevator comes like this, already joined. Pull her apart. Now, what we've got to do this time is only glue the tube in. We don't want any glue here. We only want glue on the tube in there. Then when we push this half on, this section here, which is going to be through here, we do not want any glue to stick to that. So we're going to use some petroleum jelly, some Vaseline. I'll just put it on with a earbud, and we'll just put on some Vaseline on there so it doesn't stick. I'm going to mix up a little bit of epoxy and just glue it in. I'll show you how we do it. Okay, I've mixed a bit of epoxy up. Now all is what you do is put a little bit on the end. You don't need it all everywhere. Get that epoxy on the end there, and some in the actual tube down in here. I use the other end of my brush from before, the metal handle part, and you get some down in there so you don't get any around here. Whatever you get on this outside, you've got to get rid of. Okay, so now we get our tube in. There, right, till it just seats. Then get some alcohol on a cloth and just clean off any excess glue there. You don't want to leave any glue there. Okay, so that's all cleaned off, it's nice and clean. Okay, now we get our Vaseline, our little bit of petroleum jelly. We know how long that gap was, so just put some Vaseline on there so that the glue's not going to stick to it. There's no way we want the glue to stick on this part here that goes through here, because if ever you break this and you need to replace it, you'll be able to pull it out really easy. What we do now is fit it in. It'll just slot in. It's got a nice bit there. Just with your petroleum jelly, make sure you've got it right around there, because we don't want any glue to stick to this section here. So just put a Bit of petroleum jelly around there in case any comes out. Then the next thing to do is a bit of glue on this end of the tube. You only need about an inch worth up there. Just slide it on like that, get some glue on, and a little bit more in the tube. Then it's a matter of just sliding this side on. Make sure when you do it, you line up your tail here, your elevator, it goes in there, and then push it in, and then that just all slots in. And there you have it. It's as easy as that. Make sure it's in nice. In with your gear is the tape again. So just take one off and stick it down on each wing surface. Do the top and the bottom. It's just a little bit of added security. You'll have the tape on there just to hold it. I'll do that on all 4 surfaces. Just another now of connecting up the horn here and the push rod. Okay, I'm going to let that dry. And then it'll be time to put the main wing on. The build's nearly finished. Right, wings glued together. We have all the parts, screws in the front, all the bits and pieces on it. So the wing's finished. We have the tail feathers finished and connected up. So now it's time to put the wing onto the main fuse. Let's get that done. Okay, first up, let's get our wires off. We'll just undo them from the plastic where we had them here. Doesn't hurt to use a bit of that tape just to hold them together that you just undid it with. Make it easy to slot through. Slot your wires down through the hole that's provided. Slot everything in, turn our plane over and pull our wires through. Make sure we've got them all through. When you're sure you've got all your wires through, turn it back over and it's ready to have 2 screws put in here and 2 screws put in here. I'll do that now. So get our screws in and do them up. Slowly tighten them all down. Don't just tighten one down. Get them nice and even. Don't over tighten them. It's only plastic. Just do them firm enough. Right, there's our wings attached. They're not going anywhere. So we're just about finished. Nearly all done. Now all what's left to do is connect our wires up. Firstly, you need to put your Retract Y cable that came in into your gear channel here. The rest of the Y cables are already installed for you. So all what you got to do is look for the Aeron. There's the Aeron one. Get your colours round the right way and connect them. There's the other Aeron. It's got Aeron written on it. There's the Aeron other one. Get the colours around the right way and join them together. There's the Aeron's done. That means the other 2 shorter ones, because remember we put the long extensions on, are the flaps. So just connect your flaps up. There's our flap ones done. Tuck them down there nicely out the way. Now we've got 2 long ones left, which we know are retracts, so let's just put them in. Right, and then fold all this wiring away. In my other plane I put some tape around it to put in there, then you can just push it all down here, all taped up nice and neat out the way. Then we've got our E-flite 3S 11.1 volt 3200 milliamp. It's a 30C battery, high power series. That's going to fit straight into there. You got your tape here to lock it down, and we're all ready to fire up and set and make sure we've got everything right, do all our settings, set the flaps properly, make sure our surfaces are right. Set up your controls. Right, I'm going to go and do that, and then we'll come back and have a look when it's all finished. She's not far off. Just a couple of little extra things to do before we are finished, so we'll go ahead and do them next, and then it'll be time to fly it. Right, last few things just to put on. We've got an aerial that goes on the back. Now, you get clear lenses here. You can put a light kit on. We're just going to put the already coloured lenses on. We'll just put one of these on. You'll see that they just fit over like that. Now I'm just going to use a little bit of silicone to put them on, which I also use a little bit of silicone just on these. I just put a dab of silicone on them when I push them on, just to hold them in place. The aerial just clips in here, like so. Easy in and out if you need to get it in and out. Okay, I'll go and silicone them parts on, and then we'll fire up and check that we've got all our surfaces correct. Okay, it's time for me now to bind to my DX8. Even though I bound before, I'm going to rebind the whole lot again. I've put the bind plug in, put the battery together. Now I'm just going to move away from this because it's not good to be too close when you bind, but I'm going to press the bind button and turn on. So I'll just go and do that. You hear it's bound. bound now. There we are, we're all bound. Now I'm just going to move away from this because it's not good to be too close when you bind, but I'm going to press the bind button and turn on. So I'll just go and do that. You hear it's bound now. There we are, we're all bound. Now I'm just going to move away from this because it's not good to be too close when you bind, but I'm going to press the bind button and turn on. So I'll just go and do that. You hear it's bound now. There we are, we're all bound. everything works. Okay, check my surfaces. Yep, correct. Up, down, left, right. Yep, everything's working. Okay, flaps. Yep, flaps are working. Let's see if them retracts work. Looks like they work to me. So, bind plug out, canopy on. Need to check the centre of gravity now. We found the two little squares that are here. It's spot on them. To the back of them maybe, but if you can get it around there, you'll be right. The manual does say further back, but everybody's experience so far with this plane has found it right where these squares are. So check it yourself, but if I was you, I'd give it a go around the back of these squares. Okay, she's ready to go. Well, there we have it. Our Hurricane's all together, and what a beauty it is. Just got to get out to the field now and give it a test fly. Again, I'd like to thank Mike from OMP for supplying this model for me to put together and make this video so that you can see what it's like. And we know because quite a few people have already flown these and everybody's reporting great flying with them. So hopefully I get out this weekend, and next week I'll have another flight video up with this baby in it. Okay, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this series and got a bit out of it. If you got any questions, ask me and I'll try my best to answer them. Please subscribe to my channel, my YouTube channel, and we'll see you next time with who knows what. Catch you soon. So there they are, side by side, pre-release and the brand newie. And don't they look good together? See that difference there in the stickers? The new stickers look so much better.